For this next step, we need to start out by assigning some variables. A variable is used in a program to store a value that can change, much like what you're used to from algebra. To do this, start by going back to the main tab. Because you'll likely use these variables in and out of user functions, let's assign them as global variables and not just local variables. Do this by double-clicking on the Globals tab. The Program Globals windows will open, and we need to move to the Global Variables area. First, we'll need to assign what type of variables we're going to use. For all the variables that I'm going to use in this program, I'm going to be storing just regular integers into those variables. But there's other options, including characters, as well as lots of others. But we're going to choose integer. The name of one of the variables that I need to use for this program is count. And I'm going to use this variable to store how many times something happens in the program. When the program starts, the value that I need count to start out as is 0. To add more variables, I need to move over to this Add More Variables button. Again, my type of variable that I'm going to add is integer. And this next variable will be called bump. And I'm going to use this to store input from my bump sensor. Because the information is coming from the bump sensor, I do not need to set a value for this variable. I'm going to add another variable. This one will also be of type integer, and the name of this variable will be limit, because it is going to store information from a limit switch. And again, I do not have to enter a value because it's just going to be taking information from the limit switch. These are my 3 variables that I need for the program, so now I can move to OK to accept them and move on to the next step. Once variables have been assigned, we can utilize program flow function blocks like a while loop or an if-then statement. When the program flow folder is expanded, you can see all these blocks listed below. If we add a while loop to the program, it will repeat the tasks that are part of the loop for a set duration. To add a while loop, drag and drop it onto the boolean line where you want it to show up. The while loop window will appear, and you'll be prompted to enter the condition of the while statement. The loop can be set to run infinitely by setting it to while 1, which is the same as 1 equal to 1, a statement that is always true. Another possibility is to set it to stop when a variable has been assigned to a set value. So if we set it up to equal our variable count when it is less than 5, when the condition of the while loop is set up like this, it will repeat the tasks placed within it until the variable count equals 4. Let's go ahead and close the window and move on to the next step.